if you've ever known someone, a family member, friend, neighbor, who has ever had this horrible disease called getting old, you've seen how it works. And they're okay, like they're doing good, and then something happens. It could be a fall, something traumatic, or in Joe's case, getting COVID, right? And after that moment, they fall fast. We've all seen it. So this leads to the question, when Biden falls fast, it will happen. Will it happen in the next 2 years? I don't know. I think so, maybe, I don't know. If it does, how long could the White House prop him up? How long could they weekend at Bernie's him if they needed to? Right? So Biden's not doing well, can't get out of bed, can't put sentences together, can't go to public appearances, can't do anything. How long could they hide that without people finding out? And how long would the media cover for him? And amazingly, there's precedent for this. Let's go back 100 years, October 1919. Woodrow Wilson, President Wilson, he was in Europe negotiating the Treaty of Versailles, ending World War I, got back in September and did a national speaking tour from train station to train station to get people on board with the League of Nations, right? So he was on this train going across the country, and people were starting to get a little worried about his health. He had a bad case of the Spanish flu in beginning of 1919 as well. Biden, COVID, Woodrow Wilson, Spanish flu. So he's on the train, he's in Colorado, and he was complaining about his asthma, headaches, and then his face muscles started to twitch. He got nauseous, splitting headache, and the whole left side of his face started to sag, and no one could deny it anymore. Woodrow Wilson had a stroke. So they canceled the tour, they sped back to DC, he made it to the White House, the doctor visited him, and Wilson got up to go to the bathroom and he fell on the floor. And the doctor, in the presidential bedroom, the doctor told his wife, Edith, and his aides, "My God, the president is paralyzed." So for the rest of 1920, Woodrow Wilson was in his bed, kept away from everyone. Now you're saying, oh, so that was 1920. You can't hide someone the same way in 2022. With this media, I think you can. Woodrow Wilson was confined to his bed. No one saw him except for his wife and his doctor. Edith has been called the first female president. But why was he able to hide this so well? How was he able to hide this so well? Enter Louis Seibold, New York World newspaper. Wrote an article, June 18th, 1920. You ready for this? Headline, correspondent in 3-hour visit finds president's mental vigor unimpaired. Executive gains 20 pounds in 2 months, and he does more work than before confinement. That's how they talked in 1920. This is from the article. 9 months of courageous battling to repair the consequences of illness has neither daunted the spirit nor impaired in the slightest degree the splendid intellect of Woodrow Wilson. During the 3 hours I spent with the president, I saw him transact the important functions of his office with his old-time decisiveness, method, and keenness of intellectual appraisement. This correspondent heard him dictate his decisions of great matters of governmental importance with the facility of expression and the directness of meaning that indicated no impairment of the efficient mental machine that has known only the hardest kind of work for 40 years. And he goes on about all the things that the president did in his presence. And I love this. It was the same angular face, quite as full in cheek, and not the least shrunken at the temples. It was the same face registered in a mental picture 8 months before. They were unmistakably the Wilson eyes, keen, searching, and snappily intelligent. Beautiful. Here's the thing. It was all made up. Every word of it. Wilson couldn't walk. The left side of his face, his left side of his body was paralyzed. His attention span was about 60 seconds, over not hours of conversation. The interview was a total fake. Never happened. Wilson's press secretary made up all the answers. Now, here's my favorite part about the story. That'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if you found some hack reporter who wrote this article that no one ever read, no one knew about it. Louis Seibold won a Pulitzer Prize for that article. It's not like he went on later in life to win a Pulitzer Prize. He won a Pulitzer Prize for that article that he made up about how the president's great. Well, nothing to be concerned about at all. He's actually doing better now than he was before. So Biden goes down. The White House hides him from the American people, just like they did during the campaign. And every reporter today who's covering Biden will try to be Louis Seibold. And they'll rationalize it all day. Oh, I'm just serving my country. I'm protecting the commander in chief. Oh, it'd be terrible if the world knew the state of the president. So I'm going to do my part to protect the president and serve this country. And who knows, maybe I'll win a Pulitzer Prize in the process, because of my heroism. I think the White House could keep a completely disabled president hidden for a long time if they needed, even in 2022. And with the technology today, maybe especially in 2022. A lot of people be like, oh, you couldn't get away with that in 2022. No, I think it'd be even easier in 2022, especially with this media's help. I'll give you an example. Have you ever seen a picture of Barack Obama smoking? Have you? Here's one, but that's probably photoshopped. That's not even a real picture. The administration can change the definition of recession and the media takes it lock, stock, and barrel. Surely the media would cover for this as well. They lie to us all the time. They would make up interviews saying he's great. And then they'd win awards for those made up interviews. It's all been done before. There's nothing new under the sun. Hey, Slater Crusaders. So the Democrats are going to get crushed in 2022. There's no question about that, which really puts them in quite a pickle for 2024. How bad is it going to be? Well, look at who they have as their bench for Biden. Kamala? Are you kidding me? Pete Buttigieg? Gavin Newsom? That's what our latest special was about, the Democratic position in 2024. We break down each of those potential candidates, and then we talk with the Democratic strategists and get an inside perspective on what the Democrats are sweating the most and who they're most concerned about. That's available now right here on The First. You can check it out by downloading the app and also on thefirsttv.com.